interesting because there's 25 movies, so there's definitely going to be a bunch of stuff that we really agree on, but there's definitely going to be ones that we're just like garbage, or this is way better. I have a few of my own, but yeah, we're going to do Marvel tier lists. So, all right, we're live on all platforms. We are recording. All right. So Kendrick Lamar is not it right now. Like,
we're not gonna say that he's not it. We're just going to say that this dude, Baby Keem, is his cousin, and so he's like starting a record label, and he's gonna have artists, and his cousin is his first artist. So the rumor is that they're gonna do a joint album together as they try to introduce the world to who this guy is. But I haven't loved it so far. Maybe it'll work on an album. We'll see, but I haven't loved it so far. A new one came out tonight, and we'll see.
The hoes aren't scared, but the hoes are nervous.
Yes, there we go. I like that. Let's go ahead and put it again.
The hoes are getting nervous.
The hoes are frightened, to say the least.
Imagine how Dex would feel if Drake was trying to break his little cousin, and all of a sudden these songs started coming out with Drake just in the studio going crazy with his little cousin, and all the Drake fans were like, "Bro, this music isn't good. What's happening over there? What is Drake doing?"
Man, Drake mentioned Marshall, Texas in his song the other day. So I don't know what Drake's doing. Like, no, nothing's in Marshall, Texas. My fiance's from Marshall, Texas. Like that, nothing's in Marshall.
The Christmas capital of Texas? Come on.
Oh my God. Anyway, welcome to the One Take Podcast, episode 81. We are back doing another MCU movie, folks. It only took a couple of weeks after like 2 years of not having MCU movies. Or a couple months rather after Black Widow. But yeah, now we just got MCU is pandemic proof. We have established this. This is gospel. This is the sacred text.
Streets. They literally took a year to load up the clip, and they are feeding the streets, bro. It's incredible. The pacing is amazing. They're giving us so much. I can't wait.
So we were doing Shang Chi, the Legend of the Ten Rings. But other than that, how we doing? Everybody okay? Living right? Drinking water?
Yeah, lots of water. Major key. Got to drink all the fucking water in the world. I've had like a stomach bug for the last 2 days, so I'm on my MJ like flu game shit right now.
This is your flu game pod. I can't wait.
Try to power through. My stomach has not been right. You know, we just gonna make it work.
Whose alarm is going off?
Mine.
Definitely not mine.
Time to pod, bitch. Let's go. Yeah. So Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. Let's just get right into it because I feel like there's not going to be a lot of thoughts on this movie, but just like it was really good. We'll just start there. And as opposed to Black Widow, where we were kind of like, oh, I don't know, but this was like really good. And it's not very often that we all have sort of the same opinions on a good film. So yeah, it'll be interesting. Shang-Chi, Legend of the Ten Rings. PG-13 came out a few weeks ago, 2 hours, 12 minutes, 8.0 on IMDb. People love this movie, man. It is the number one ranked popularity movie in the world according to IMDb on their website, which is to be expected. 71 Metascore. Shang-Chi. Have I been saying Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi, you saying it. Yeah. I think you were saying it.
Okay. Thank God. Because everybody in the world has always pronounced it Shang-Chi, but they came out recently. They're like, stop being racist.
I bet you in the Midwest, nobody has said it correctly in the entire Midwest.
Well, like I got that Shang-Chi. Shang-Chi, the master of unarmed weaponry-based kung fu, is forced to confront his past after being drawn into the Ten Rings organization. It's kind of a bad synopsis, but it's an origin story of Shang-Chi. Director Destin Daniel Cretton, who had done no movies like this ever before. He did some critically acclaimed stuff with Brie Larson, Short Term 12, being probably the big one that you may know. It was written by him, Andrew Lanham, and Dave Callahan. It stars Simu Liu, Aquafina, Tony Chu Wei Long, Ben Kingsley, a king, comes back into play. Okay, and I'm sorry, I'm gonna mispronounce this name, but apologies. As his sister Major Zhang. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Fala Chin is Lee, and Michelle Yeoh, a queen, is back.
Absolute queen.
Oh
Absolute
my god,
queen.
absolute queen. And of course the guy from Creed 2, Florian Mateo, is back. Is in this as Razor. That's the biggest dude of all time.
He's a fighter. This is his second movie, I think.
Yeah. So that is who stars on in this movie. It could have been a bigger. I will preface it with this: it's a hit. Do not make the mistake of thinking that it's not a hit. All of the poopy pants people out there that were wanting MCU to fail, like on YouTube, like hot take people like us, but all the poopy pants people out there were saying that it's going to fail, it's not going to do well, and all the racist BS behind that. It's a hit. It could have been more of a hit if y'all were acting right and getting your vaccines. This would have come out in May and it would have made $1 billion. Right now it's setting Labor Day weekend records, which is, people love MCU. I think it's not like a good movie weekend. I think the biggest record was like one of the Rob Zombie Halloween movies.
Yeah,
or the last Halloween.
2003 Halloween movie.
Yeah, something like that. But it is successful so far worldwide, 157 million worldwide. MCU is pandemic proof. It would have been bigger. I don't even know I don't think it's even doing anything in China, because I think China's still a little closed. Like they don't have it in theaters over there yet. I don't quote me on that, but I think that's correct. And it would have done huge numbers in China. So it's 157 million worldwide, which I maintain the popularity of this movie. I think it would have made close to $1 billion, probably. And they didn't release it on Disney Plus either. This is all theater money. Yeah. So that's also interesting too. And I assume that they'll probably go to Premiere Access after a while.
It's 45 days. After 45 days, it'll be on Disney Plus.
Yeah,
is it going to be free after 45 days? Or
it has to be.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be free after 45 days. It better be, because I need to watch this again for sure. I want to see this again. Yeah, probably going to go see it again in theaters.
I'm probably going to go see it again. Dex, you've seen it twice. Oh, by the way, really well reviewed. Take that for what you will. 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, 98% audience score. I'm telling you, man, I think people. This is
really like this movie.
This is like some of people's favorite MCU film all of a sudden.
It's got like a 90. It's the highest rated comic book movie on Rotten Tomatoes. Like,
really?
Any comic book movie.
That's crazy.
Like the highest rated right now.
Shang Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings isn't entirely free of Marvel's familiar formula, but the exciting origin story expands the MCU in more ways than one. Dex, you've seen this twice. Go ahead, man. What did you think?
Yeah, so I thought this movie was awesome, man. Like these some of the best fight scenes that we've seen in the MCU to date at this point. That bus scene is incredible. Like you saw the trailer and you're like, okay, it looks like it's gonna be pretty cool. And then you actually watch the movie and it's like, holy shit, this is awesome. And it just keeps going. Mm-hmm. And then like they have the scene where they're like fighting on that scaffolding, like outside the skyscraper fight club thing.
Call that the Rush Hour 2.
Incredible. I was like, I want every platformer video game to actually be like this. Like this just looks like so much fucking fun. And yeah, I liked all the characters in this movie. I thought the sister kind of stole the show a little bit, just like showing up and just being a badass and just whooping ass all the time. People are always going to be like, oh, the MCU is so different now, like blah blah blah. Like we talked about that in the past. Like all the movies have been different really for like the last like 6 years. Like we're like just completely off of the old formula of the original movies, and we can just like move away from that point. Every Marvel movie we don't have to do that again. But yeah, man, I think a chilled, like a little low-key kung fu movie that still got some of the comedy in it. Awkwafina is still Awkwafina, love her or hate her. I love her. A lot of people hate her apparently, but she's still doing her thing.
She was more toned down in this, to be honest, and she was I enjoyed her. But yeah, continue.
I always enjoy Aquafina personally, but anyway, it's a kind of chilled out kung fu movie. It's got some like magical elements kind of in the background of it, and then you get to the third act, and it's just like all magical elements, which it gives you a little bit of whiplash, but I think they build up to it in a good enough way that it like just works consistently. I wasn't crazy about the final fight scene. I know other people like really, really love it. I wasn't like that big on it, but I think it's fine.
I feel the same.
And yeah, I give it on first watch, I was like, it's in the A- B+ like territory. And then on second watch, I was like, yeah, this is definitely an A- for sure. Like a solid like 90 for me. I like this movie a lot.
Teach?
I have the same score. For me, it's an A-. I really enjoyed it. They had a tough thing to do. Obviously, this comic book character is like it has like racist origins, and like parts of the comic book aren't very good, or the characters aren't very fleshed out, and they had to take that and make it into something that was palatable, and they really did. This movie was pretty amazing. I really enjoyed the first two acts are basically pitch perfect. Obviously, Dex at the fight scenes, the bus fight scene is amazing. They got comedy throughout. They established kind of that found family dynamic with him and Aquafina before he like gets into this family drama about what he's really happening in his family. And the way they kind of build up to it is just kind of perfect. I had some problems with the third act as well, just like Dex. I knew we were going to end up in the magical world as soon as they first showed the scene where he falls in love with the mom, which is beautiful, by the way. Absolutely beautiful. Incredible scene. It's just breathtaking. And I knew we would end up in this magical realm, but I was the only thing I had a problem with was we're having this great family drama. You have an amazing villain, which Marvel doesn't always nail. This villain is incredible.
I want to talk about that too.
Tony Young is he's amazing. He's for me, Dex said the sister stole the show. I thought the dad stole the show. Like he was incredible, very believable. That he had a lot of nuance to him, and I really like you could at least feel for him. Although he's like extremely evil and spent 1,000 years being a complete dickhead before he like found love and became a good person.
He's committed several genocides. Let us not. We're
gonna have to talk about that because people have been like, "Oh, he's not a villain. He didn't do anything wrong." Like, no, we're gonna have to break that down.
Save it. Well, let him finish the review because we definitely need to talk about that.
So they established this well, and I'm into this family drama. I love the fight scene where he meets his sister, despite the fact that we just saw long lost siblings meet each other and fight each other in the last MCU movie. I still like the fact that we had this thing happen, and they got to come together for a common cause. That was dope as hell. And then we get to that third act, and I'm into this family drama, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh no, the big bad is actually the Soul Eaters. And I was like, wait, the Soul Eaters aren't compelling at all. I don't care about the Soul Eaters. I care about the dad. If we're making a kung fu movie, kung fu movies ends, your protagonist and your antagonist finally meet up, and you're in a village, or you're in they burning down the village, and everybody's watching this final fight. That's what they're building up. That's what I want to see. I want to see this guy fight his dad. I want to see him beat his dad and become who he's supposed to become. I don't really care about the Soul Eaters. And so the last 20 minutes of the film where we're just focused on the Soul Eaters was just like, oh, this is cool. It looks great. I like dragons. That's pretty cool. But I was kind of wanted it to end with just him fighting the dad and that be the end of the movie. I thought it was weird you're getting this great performance from this legendary Chinese actor who's like literally a legend in China, and this is his first American movie, and he's going crazy.
Oh, is it really?
Yes, it's his first Hollywood movie.
Damn.
But obviously he's a legend in China. Like he's one of the greatest Chinese actors ever. So he's a legend over there. He's finally getting this moment. He's going crazy in this film. He's putting on this great performance, and then you kind of move him to the side so you can bring in the dragons. I thought that was a weird choice, but other than that, I really enjoyed the movie, man. It was amazing.
Well, that's kind of my problem too. Is like Marvel has historically had like a villain problem outside of Thanos. I mean, Red Skull was decent in Captain America, and but like Iron Man's always had like shitty villains. One which we'll talk about here later in a bit. But Iron Man's always had shitty villains. It's always sort of been uh, nothing villains, whereas like DC is like has the villains, but they can't figure out how to fucking make us care about their superheroes. Um, but this yeah, he was incredible, and you know, Loki, he was like supposed to be the Mandarin and all this stuff, and it sets up all that. And it almost because of the Soul Eaters thing, it like needed a way for him to break bad all of a sudden again, because he has this weird redemption arc that almost makes you forget that he conquered uh, thousands and thousands of people for thousands and thousands of years, and he's like this all-powerful sort of entity, and has killed millions of people. But like it almost makes you forget that, and it almost makes you forget that he tried to like take over his wife's
Yeah, he was
like
going.
Homeland. He was going to
Oh,
burn
yeah.
it to the ground. He was like,
Yeah.
I will burn
Take over.
everybody in this village and everything that my wife loved and cared about. I will burn it all to the ground for her. Like a lot of people about to die.
The Soul Eaters thing, it's like it doesn't make sense in the long run because you have your great villain there. It's almost like, okay, we need to give him more of a plot device to like come into this. Like, why else would he do it if he's still good? You know what I mean? And it's sort of this, and it adds to his character because it's this man tortured by the one thing that he actually really liked, like his wife, because he didn't really like his kids that much. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he just
fuck
loved
them
his
kids.
wife. Yeah, he just loved his wife, who in turn gave him the children. But like it was sort of, why does he care about this place again unless he thinks that this woman is trapped there for somehow, even though he saw her dead body on the
Mhm.
ground. But I will say about the whole thing, though, it gives you an opportunity, and it felt kind of rushed because, like, how would Shang-Chi know how to like operate these rings? Like, there's no user manual. Like, how does he know how to work these rings all of a sudden? You know, and I guess like Cap never knew how to work the shield, but these things are magic. These things are like quote unquote, people think that these are from like the Eternals and things like that. So that's where people think these are from. And these things have given a guy power for millennia. And now all of a sudden his son has them and he can work them. But it gives you a good opportunity to use them versus an incredible villain. And it looked great. I will say that. There's a shot in there when he's like running up the dragon and like jumps up and like puts all the rings into the chest. And I was in the theater like, yes, like a sporting event. Like it was really cool. But it gave you that moment. It gave you sort of the big Hollywood blockbuster moment. And then it let his dad sort of be not the biggest piece of shit because he sacrificed himself for his son. And I guess that makes you think, and I'm using air quotes, like that makes you think like, oh, he's a good guy. He was just trying to kill him 2 seconds ago. I don't know. Yes and no. Like there's some good things about that. Like I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I wasn't hyped by that final act when he was fighting that shit. Like it was cool. It was cool shit. Like, but did we need a huge kaiju fight at the end of this movie? No, not really. And I will say this: it is basically Raya and the Last Dragon. It's Raya and the Last Dragon.
I mean, that's basically what's happening there. That's basically what's happening.
It felt a lot like watching like a wrestling match where it's like you can't just have the new guy just beat up this old guy that like everyone loves or whatever. So you got to have like a
transfer of power.
Yeah, you got to have the third person in the triple threat match to actually take the pin. But like you got to get like put the new baby face over and whatever. Like it was.
I think it allowed them to really like, without having to do it even further in like a sequel movie, because there will be like, this is popular. This is going to be a sequel movie when things finally, I don't know when, get back to normal and like these movies are making $1 billion. They don't have to like, okay, here's what the power of the rings can do. Now you kind of know like how powerful this shit is. But my favorite part of the movie was not the rings thing. Wasn't. It was the hand-to-hand just mano y mano kung fu stuff, which was incredible by Simu Liu.
Mm-hmm.
Incredible. That dude put in work. And I had read something that I thought he hadn't had any background in martial arts. That's not true. I think he has a background in Taekwondo to begin with. But this is a dude that was like an accountant for a little bit, and then was like in like sitcoms and stuff. And now he's out here doing like Jackie Chan-esque fight choreography. Obviously, it's not the same because Jackie Chan is like not on wire. Well, he was back in China, but like doing a lot of his own stunts and stuff. But like, is incredible work from this guy.
Yeah, the
really
Jackie Chan folks did all the choreography, and he's like the perfect. Every Jackie Chan movie worked because it was mild-mannered guy who actually can beat the shit out of everyone, tries his best to avoid fights, and then beats the shit out of everyone. And that's literally what this character is, right? Yeah. That's why the bus scene is so good, because you know, okay, we've established that this guy's mild-mannered. His best friend does not even know that he could punch anybody, let alone like knows how to fight. And she's just like, what's happening? He's trying to avoid a fight, and all of a sudden he kicks the shit out of everybody out of nowhere. It's like the coolest. That shit is so cool to just watch like manifest. But it's basically the same formula as a Jackie Chan movie. That's how every Jackie Chan movie is. Yeah, he's on a bus and somebody bothers him. He's like, please, I want no trouble. And then he beats the shit out of everybody. That's why all those movies
love it. Super fire.
Like, you don't want these problems. And it is. If you hadn't seen, like, we knew, because that's what the promo has been, is that bus fight pretty much the entire, like, we didn't see any of the mythical stuff really that wasn't in the promo. They really saved that in the promo,
and
which I'm glad.
Thank you.
Yeah, that trailer would have not looked nearly as good to me if I saw dragons flying around. I'm like, wait, what is this?
What is this movie? Yeah.
I thought we were going to be street level the whole time, so they obviously wanted us to think that.
So they really do elevate it at the end, but if you hadn't seen any of the promo, which I don't know how, it's on like ABC, it's on everything. Like they had Simu Liu announce like draft picks and stuff. Like this promo has been all over the place. But if you hadn't seen any of the promo, and then all of a sudden that bus fight scene happens, you'd be like, what the fuck movie am I watching? Yeah. Because they really do a really good job of kind of, I mean, he gets out of the bed and he's got abs and like everything else, and you're kind of like, oh, it's just a really good looking guy. But you'd be like, what is this movie? Because all of a sudden it is a 10. It goes from them like parking cars and like eating with their grandmother to like he's fighting a dude with a blade on his hand. It's nuts. It really is.
Yeah. It's like, you're a deadbeat. Why have you never accomplished anything? You're just a valet. Like, get a life. Oh shit, you can beat the fuck out of 8 dudes at the same time on a bus.
5 minutes ago, we just saw the grandma make a joke about, when are you gonna marry my granddaughter? And then all of a sudden, he's literally beating the shit out of people, including a dude with a razor for a fist. And he's just beating the shit out of people. Like, it just doing such a good job of building up to it. I was in love with this film at that point.
Yeah, and it really does. It does a good job of not overdoing the action, where they have these big set pieces. They're not always fighting. You know what I mean? There could have been a version of this movie where it's just like the entire thing. Like kind of like what John Wick like has tended to do the last couple of movies. Well, the last movie at least, where it's just like everything is fighting. You know what I mean? Where it's like they really sell these big set pieces, and then these hand-to-hand combat within these set pieces. And I really enjoyed that. And I said this is by far the best hand-to-hand combat in any of these movies, including Captain America: Civil War.
And that's also the genius of the vehicle. It's like there are so many different kinds of kung fu movies. They could take the character into a darker space for whatever reason, and all of a sudden, like, you just get into like that kind of dark kung fu where things are a little bit more violent and a little bit more street level, or they can just keep it the high level airbender, like a Crouching Tiger kind of. Like, there's so many different ways they can take a sequel,
and they did both
of this character, and they put a little bit of everything in terms of the styles of the fights. And it just all worked out so well. It was just beautifully shot, and some obviously the best combat that we've seen in the MCU, because we're not seeing people fight in the MCU. We're seeing superheroes fight, and all superheroes kind of fight the same. So we got to see something totally different.
They fly around and beat the shit out of each other. Yeah.
So they've made 25 movies or 24 movies where it's just people flying around fighting each other that way, or Spider-Man swinging around and fighting people that way. And so now we get to see people doing kung fu and beautiful forms of martial arts. It's just really cool to see, and they executed it really well.
Yeah, that wire fight scene between those two, the mom and the dad, it was funny and like sweet and like cool and like sexy at the same time. It was really unlike anything that I've seen, and it was kind of campy because all of a sudden you're like, oh, it's an homage to like Crouching Tiger or all the movies of the past with that wire work where, you know, they're kind of just flowing around but it was less campy than that because since Crouching Tiger, you know, they've gotten better at being able to disguise that these people are actually floating in the air and stuff like that. And it was funny too, because it's like they're flirting with each other while fighting each other. It was a really interesting scene that I really enjoyed. And like people were laughing in the theater. Yeah. It's supposed to be kind of this tense moment. And then it's really cut in half by like, oh, he trying to fuck. Like that's
romance and grace, and like in the middle of this fight scene. It was so well done. I really enjoyed that.
I give this movie an A-, and we haven't even touched on it. Can't be undersold how important this movie is for the Asian community, the Asian American community, especially in Asian actors as well. Because like you were saying, Tej, this comic, and I don't really know that much of the history of it, but what I do know is that this comic was like a caricature of Asian people, of kung fu, of Asian stereotypes, and they just we're just going to put a kung fu guy in the comics and stuff. And so for them to take that stereotype and make it into like a legitimate thing is a really good work by the filmmakers and Destin Daniel Cretton. And also, I mean, Kevin Feige, tip of the hat, man.
The same thing they did with Black Panther. They take a 2D character and they make him a 3D character, and they really bring the whole universe of that person to life. They're bodying that shit.
Yeah,
never doubt our mouse overlords is what we're saying.
Yeah, A- for me. Do y'all have a favorite fight scene? We'll talk about that really quick. To me, it's probably the bus scene. To be honest,
it's the bus scene for me.
It's the scaffold scene for me. I don't know what we're calling that officially, but
yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I love that shit. But that bus scene we got to talk about my man who went live in the middle of the fight. I was like, I feel so seen.
He was so funny.
See, because
I feel so seen.
The MCU, there's sometimes where you're just like, all right, too many jokes in the middle of what's supposed to be a serious thing. But you know that like this is the first start of the movie. Like, you know, the main character isn't going to die. So them intersecting those jokes throughout this fight scene is what makes the MCU the MCU. We've seen it done several times before. That was kind of a new sort of thing where it's just like, he's like, I've taken some kung fu before. It looks like this guy knows what he's doing. Like,
it's your boy here live on a bus in San Francisco. We're gonna grade this fight as we go.
Yeah. No, I think it was. That's how the MCU and their people are wondering is like, oh well, you know, how come people can't replicate it? It's just like it should be, because they lay the formula out there for you. It's like, be able to make fun of your movies within your movies. You know what I mean? Or poke fun at what's going on.
The whole bit about the Trevor Slattery coming back is literally them making fun of a past mistake that they made. Like, people hated this character and the way that we did it. We're going to make a joke about that and bring this character back and reference the joke. Like,
they are the best at it. Star Wars hasn't been able to do it.
No.
DC definitely hasn't been able to do it.
Star Wars will never make fun of itself. It's not self-aware in that way.
Yeah, and MCU is self-aware enough for Kevin Feige. Somebody in that room is self-aware enough to be like, we fucked up. Let's retcon this within our movies to where it makes sense, instead of just being like, that never happened. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's like, we see it. It's in canon. We've seen that it's in canon. Whereas like Star Wars is like, something's in canon and it's just like, we'll just never mention it again.
We'll put out a special DVD box set edition where that just didn't happen.
Yeah,
and now that's the canon.
where we digitally rendered them out. Yeah, where we digitally rendered them out, or you'll have to like watch like our animated show to make sure that it's not canon. And you're just like, fuck, man. I just
There's
want
definitely going to be a version of those
it.
movies in 20 years or 30 years when they start re-releasing all the movies where Jar Jar Binks just doesn't exist in the movie.
They're just talking to nothing.
Kids of that generation will never know who Jar Jar Binks is because they will literally remove him from this film.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like these other properties that have had this long of a run, you know, like 25 films is unprecedented. Like next to, I think James Bond it has 25 films now, but that's been over since the 1960s. Like these dudes are like cranking this shit out. But yeah, they were like, yeah, we fucked up with Iron Man 3. That sucked ass. Still made $1 billion though. Peace to you. But like, it was just like, the wildest thing to me is that like Iron Man 3 is like the number 3 highest grossing box office superhero movie, or like superhero movie of all time, like forever. It just made so much money for no reason when the second one wasn't even that great either.
Yeah. But
anyway,
I think the
we're
MCU,
gonna talk about that film soon. Obviously, we're doing the tier draft.
Yeah, but like the MCU, they know that like, what do you have to lose? Fuck it, try some shit and just see what works.
I get it. They obviously more self-aware because like nobody ever told us why the Hulk changed and all of a sudden he looked different and he went from looking one way to another way. Like that was never explained. They just did it because the character didn't work as it was constructed originally. So it's like now they'll just like, oh, we'll just poke fun at that and they'll bring everybody in on the joke and let's keep it moving.
They're not afraid of course correcting. I will say that, which is like, all right, we messed up. Let's take this in a different direction.
Oh wow, everyone kind of hates Thor. Let's just make him funny now.
Yeah. That's the biggest course correction in like the history of like a franchise.
And it was so genius. It literally made Thor my favorite Avenger overnight. Literally overnight. He just became funny. I was just like, I like this guy. I'm in.
Yeah, so they're not afraid of course correcting, and they did that in this movie, which is a spoiler alert. If you have not seen this movie, the guy who is the father, I forget what his name is in the confines. Hold on, let me look.
We something.
No, what his character's name is?
Yeah, it's we.
His name is We something.
Is it Zhu Winwu? Winwu?
That's his name.
His name's Winwu. So like, the main bad guy, the father of Shang Chi, is technically the Mandarin. Within like the Mandarin, who was a big villain of Iron Man, so on and so forth, who they fucked up terribly in the third Iron Man movie because they're like, oh, we're going to introduce the Mandarin. And then it was just like, oh, my name's Trevor. And it was just like Ben
like
Kingsley.
A white guy.
Yeah, it's Ben Kingsley. And he wasn't actually a villain. He was like, oh, I'm an actor. Like they said in this movie, they go, oh, well, somebody tried to take credit for my exploits and they named me the Mandarin, a chicken dish or whatever they called it.
Yeah. And Trevor was like, yeah, I was doing what I now realize is a very insensitive impression of
right. Which was a great line. And he's just like, they basically like, yeah, and he kidnapped me and I was doing Shakespeare for him or whatever. And he liked it. So now he's like their court jester. So to reintroduce him back in the movie and be like, hey, we recognize that this shit was stupid.
Him being an actor just made it so perfect. Like to just reference a joke of like, oh, I was doing like a really like insensitive impression of this. It's like that's actually what the actor was doing. That's just really funny, man.
Yeah, and
then he was amazing in this movie. Like every time he talked, I was like, "This is fucking hilarious. This is amazing."
Incredible bit of comic relief to like just tag along throughout the end of the movie.
Like you're talking about Planet of the Apes.
The Planet of the Apes thing was incredible. That was really funny.
If they can make those monkeys act like that, it's like, wait, they're not actually.
It was like never ending. Like he would always go a step further and a step further, and I was just like, oh, I'm into this bit. Just keep it going.
And of course, I love being in the theater. I can't say this enough. I love being in the theater for these movies because the shared experience of laughing at stupid shit is awesome. Because when he was like, "I'm not dead, mate," play along. play along, and everyone laughed. It's like a dumb joke, but it was like just enough levity when they're fighting these huge monsters and soul eaters and stuff that you're just like, yes. Oh, I missed this experience, but
you're seeing like hundreds of people die at a time.
Yeah,
it's like this is kind of fucked up.
Yeah. You gotta remember, like, oh yeah, but Morris is cute. Put Morris back on the screen. Okay, cool. Let's go back to the death and destruction.
Yeah, one of my favorite jokes in the movie is the guy goes, "Oh, my Chinese is bad," and he goes, "Oh, I speak ABC," which I didn't know, and I heard it's like American-born Chinese.
American-born Chinese.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I thought it was a alphabet joke.
Oh, like I know English.
Yeah,
triple entendre. Don't even ask me how.
Facts, bars.
Yeah, of course. Another spoiler alert. Wong is in this movie too. Also great comedy there. And so is Abomination.
When they toss him back to the fact that he's doing drunken karaoke with them, that was just really funny. Like that was really good.
I love putting Wong in here too. Just another a great Asian actor that why not bring you should have him in this movie.
Yeah,
I think it was great.
Obviously having him just like kind of shepherd them, push them into their destiny, which is to become Avengers or a part of the Avengers. Obviously having him literally walk them through a portal, like, okay, now y'all coming to play with the big boys. You're joining the MCU. You're about to be a fucking Avenger. You're about to go crazy. You're about to fight aliens and shit. It was really dope to have Wong bring him to that part of his life. Because next time we see him, he's gonna be fighting next to Captain Marvel and the biggest niggas in the world fighting aliens. So he's about to be in the big time.
Yeah, I love that. Like that Wong is our like tether to the rest of the MCU for this movie because it's like his scene. There's a scene where they mention like the snap that happened, and that's pretty much it. That's like tied to the larger like MCU timeline. I think that's like perfect. That's all we needed. We got it. We know what's up. They know what's up. Cool.
There was a dating app for people that have been snapped.
That was really good.
Yeah. No, I think just going back to the fight scenes, I mean, you had to really work incredibly well for this choreography. And I don't know, man. I just think I just really enjoyed the hand-to-hand stuff more than like the bigger stuff. And obviously the 10 rings are going to help you like fight whatever huge entity, Kang eventually probably is going to help you fight that instead of just hand-to-hand fighting each other. But talking about the scene where he's fighting the guy in the mask or whatever, it felt like, I don't know if y'all remember from Skyfall where he's fighting the guy in the window or whatever with the gun and there's like blue lights going on the background. But when he's fighting the guy with the mask outside of the scaffolding and there's like billboards going on in the background, that scene looked incredible.
It looked amazing.
Yeah. Everything in this looked actually really well, really great. But they set that mask guy up to think that, he's going to be some kind of guy that you're going to have to really go after. And they killed him in like 5 minutes in the final scene.
With a fucking CGI monster that no one cared about. I hated that.
Oh, really?
Yes. Like, we're just going to get rid of him with these CGI monsters after we made him a badass. I thought he was going to put up some numbers. He went out very sad. He looked like the Gonzaga men's national basketball team.
Man, hate to see that.
Hate to see it.
But on the other hand,
free Mark Few.
but on another thing, you'll love to see it. No, I think I keep going back to the final scene because we had such a good villain. But let's talk about the villain really quickly. Dex, you made the point earlier. What was the point that was made on Twitter that you came back at that I actually really agree with your point?
I just can't believe what I was seeing. There were people who were like, what we say his name was? Wenwu?
Yeah.
Yeah, Wenwu wasn't really a villain. He did nothing wrong. They killed his wife. And all he tried to do was to free his wife from the afterlife and then bring her back after some people killed his wife. And like, I get you. That would be a very noble goal if he wasn't A, wrong, and B, lied to, and B, hadn't spent 1,000 years just
murdering everything in
and
sight.
plundering and like just destabilizing societies. And he only met his wife because he was about to go murder and plunder her society. Like, this is a villain, guys.
This guy is a
he got
literal
lucky
villain.
too. Yeah, he got lucky too because he happened, which also that doesn't really make any sense while she's just like, yeah, and I let him come in me. Like, it was just sorry, I'm gonna cut that out.
No, don't cut that out.
Life is short, let him be.
That stays.
Well, it's just like so I didn't think that I would fall in love with your father. Why did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, what does that say about you as a person that you fell in love with this guy, and just because he stopped for you didn't erase the fact that he ruined the lives of thousands and millions?
That just shows that's every woman that is just, sorry, this is very sexist, but no, it's every woman like, I can change him.
And okay, so when I first watched the movie, I left thinking, what did he say? What did he do? Like, how do you come back after that? Like, you just tried to take over her homeland and now you're gonna come back and just date her? Like, how does that conversation go? But on the rewatch, they show him like he just comes back with like some food and like shakes it at her. And
yes, and all of a sudden, like, now they're lovers.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. I was like,
hey man, women just want you to make decisions of where y'all want to go to eat. Just bring some food.
Yeah, he was just like, hey, you want to eat? She was like, I trust it. Yeah, let's do that.
No, this isn't poisoned.
Yeah, he's not trying to take over the homeland anymore.
Well, you know what it was? You know what it was? She whipped his ass. That's all it took.
Yeah.
He hadn't gotten his ass whipped.
It was clear he hadn't got his ass whipped in a long time, and he said, "Oh, I'm in love with that. That's very sexy."
No, he has a dominance thing.
That's his kink. That's his
dominance.
She's the only person in the entire world who can whoop my ass. I need her.
I need her.
And while we're on the subject, I just gotta say, like, that's it's kind of on you that your wife got killed.
It is.
If we're being honest,
it's literally your fault. But he thinks the mistake he's made was taking the rings off and not the millions of years that he spent plundering and creating enemies that might one day kill someone close to you.
And that plus, did you think you were just gonna take the rings off and shit was gonna be sweet? Like, everybody was gonna forget? Like,
we know what you look like. You didn't wear a mask while you were doing this stuff. You think we're just gonna let you live in happiness?
You think you didn't need guards? You thought you could just let the whole army go?
You didn't even change addresses, dude.
Like, you thought it was just gonna be cool. Everybody was gonna be, you got us, man, but it's over.
You're lucky you survived that long without the rings. There should have been somebody waiting around the corner, like, I've been waiting for this day. He got the rings off. We run it up on him. Like, the fact that he even got to live some years in bliss and be marital bliss was a blessing. He lived a horrible life. He deserved all the bad things in the world.
Well, if it isn't the consequences of my own action.
It's like, bro, where are you going? Like, are you going to the store? Like, why are you not here?
He comes back, he's like, what happened? You're like, what do you mean what happened?
Like, fam, we've been
I just wish.
Why do you think you can leave your wife alone after the life? You've had millions of enemies, bro, across time. Generational trauma from people 5 generations later, like, I gotta get my revenge on what he did to my great-great-great-grandfather. Like, what? How did you think you were going to survive out here, bro?
You know how Drax is like, oh, Thanos killed my wife and daughter. I got to get them back. That's like millions of people for you. There are millions of Drax. We're like, we gotta go get this shit back in blood, bro. Like, you're lucky they didn't kill your kids too. Like, they were nice about it.
There are people that are discovering fire. And then generations later, like, my grandson, my granddad remembers. The North remembers.
Yeah, like, come on. Like, this is on you for not having a security team or some
didn't change addresses. I can't get over that. All they had to do was, like, look at his mail.
Y'all ain't got guns.
He had a whole army for thousands of years and didn't think, maybe I'll just keep a couple of y'all around.
Yeah.
Just in case some shit pop up. You literally going to cut off the whole army? Like, you have an army at your disposal and you're not using them at all. And, of course, you get caught slipping. What are you doing?
And like, how do you lay off your entire army like that? Like, bro, we've been here for the last like 50 years. Like, what are we supposed to go do,
My
fam?
great granddad worked for you. I worked for you. My whole family has worked for you. How can you just quit and leave
No,
us with no jobs?
I was born here. You're just gonna sit here and
He
play.
destabilized the entire local economy.
Yeah, like, you're just gonna sit here and play Dance Dance Revolution with your
Just
kids.
gonna
And I
hang
gotta
it up,
go
bro.
just
Like,
fuck
what?
myself, bro. Like,
Swear to God, if you didn't have those rings, dog.
what?
Swear to God.
Else, and like when he didn't have the rings, obviously he's leaving the compound at some point. Like nobody ran up on him while he was
Yeah, that's what T was saying. Like nobody's waiting around the corner like Omar. Like nobody was like,
as soon as those rings came off, there'd have been somebody came by to slide that man. Like that's this man has lived an insane life. So the fact that they could make us feel even a little, you know, he's a
great,
villain.
yeah.
And the fact that they can make us feel even a little bit of like sentimentalness towards him is a testament to the performance, but also just a testament to how they wrote the character.
I
They
give
did a
that-
really good job with it.
I give that all to the character, man. He was charming and like kind of sinister at the same time. Like I give that all to the character because I was like, why are we go? Because when he comes and he shows up at the scaffolding fight scene, the like skyscraper fight scene, and I was like, wait, why is he here? I thought he was going to be the bad guy, you know, and he is. But like, I thought he was going to be the bad guy. But also the fact that they're just like, come home with me. And they're like, yeah, sure. I mean, I guess they didn't really have a choice.
I mean, yeah, what else are you gonna do?
I mean, what are you gonna do? He got the
dudes?
rings. Like, what we about to do?
Yeah, but I just found that really interesting that like all of a sudden we were back, you know, eating dinner with him and and I'm just like, all right, this dude's like making a little sense. Like it's just like
I will say that was like that like chunk where they first go back to the compound and we like got to get all the exposition out of the way. I was like,
slows down a little.
Yeah, we could have spiced this up just a touch. We could have like threw something in here to make this just a little better because this movie feels longer than it is. The runtime's only like 2 hours, but I felt like it was longer than that.
Well, what I appreciated that it did, and I heard this from another podcast, was that it intercut the exposition instead of giving you all of it at the front, which they could have done, or which other original Marvel films been known to do, Captain America being one of them,
yeah,
Iron Man being the other. But it intercut some of that. And so it gave you a little bit of backstory. But yeah, there was a little bit more where it's like they kind of keep going back. And then he was like, and then he trained me for years. And then I was supposed to go kill a man. And then I didn't. And then my mom died. And you got to see the mom die. And you're just like, good Lord. Like when they went, about the time that they went to go when the mom died, like, because they keep saying, oh, she died. But when they go to like show you that the mom was killed, I was like, oh, so we're doing this. Like you didn't have to really go and do that.
I thought we were doing like an Avatar, like Zuko's mom thing where you like don't really know what happened, but you just kind of like assume that like the dad got her killed or whatever. But then they were like, nah, like she got beat to death by like 70
You
dudes.
have to show it. It's a kung fu movie. They always show that whatever the scene is that sends the protagonist over the edge, they always show it. They don't ever allude to it. They would show somebody's wife got raped or someone got kidnapped. They would literally show that shit to drive tension. And then all of a sudden now you really care about the protagonist because they fucking showed it. So I thought they were obviously paying homage to that, but it is still a kids movie. So I was like, oh, do we have to?
I will say the mom got hers though. She beat the fuck out of those dudes before they got her.
It doesn't sound like she took a couple of them with her. She's all right. Well, I'm not going out by myself, so somebody coming with me, bros.
Yeah. I love that shit, bro. She was like, hey, my kids ain't got shit to do with this. I'm gonna send them over there, and we gonna handle this between us. Like, what y'all want to do?
The way she was ready with the initial 6 or 7 dudes, she was just like, oh, I'm about to put up numbers. Like, I don't care. There's 7 of y'all. I'm about to put up numbers. This is not gonna go the way y'all think it's gonna go.
I'm about to ruin this man's whole career. But yeah, then they walk in, but then like in the courtyard though, you see when they get there's like 15 dudes that are dead around her when they walk in. Like She was just like, they're gonna have to feel me in the gulag.
Don't do this. Please don't do this. Please don't do this.
But yeah, she was so dope to me. I really like what they did with her character. Like I said, I thought they were gonna do like a Zuko's mom kind of thing where you just like you don't know that much about her. You just know she's like gone, maybe dead, maybe not, whatever. They were like, nah, this bitch is dead. She dead.
Wait, how the fuck did USA just win 4-1?
Oh,
damn. All right.
Turn
sorry.
it up. Turn that up.
All right. World Cup, here we come after not actually winning again. But here we go. It was one of those things, and I think they did it to like reinforce the idea that Shang-Chi knew that she was actually dead. She's not behind the wall or whatever. Like, yeah, I seen it, you know, like, no, I don't know. But I think the supporting characters are really good in this. Like you said, the sister was very good. I think she was whipping ass too. Like, had
giving out the beats.
Had no qualms. Had no qualms or quarrels about throwing people off the side of a building. She was killing people. Like, she didn't care.
She was going crazy. She was definitely putting up numbers. They did a great job with her. It looks like she's going to become a villain from the post-credit scenes.
She's the next Mandarin.
Good. Well, she's going to put up numbers as Mandarin. I was into her. So the fact that they're setting her up to be a villain, I'm into it. Inject that into my veins. She's great.
As soon as she's like super kicked her brother in the face, I was like, I'm sold. I love this one. She beat the fuck out that man.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want to fight you. She's like, too bad. Sorry. Yeah, like I said, I thought all the side characters are great. I thought Awkwafina was really good. I thought she was a little bit more reserved than what some of her previous characters have been known to be. Obviously, she won a Golden Globe for like dramatic actress in a movie recently. So she
in the Farewell, the greatest movie of all time.
Yeah, so she has
movie bangs. I love
that shit.
She has acting chops. But she might have won for it. Might have been comedy, but anyway, she has acting chops, which is crazy for a woman that like started her career by making a parody song called My Vag. Like,
oh, it's so bad. It's so terrible.
Yeah, like it's an incredible like transition for her in her career, and she was really good. And I'm actually really excited to see her throughout, like kind of as his partner throughout this run, because I think she provides sort of that levity and stuff. And she's really good. She was a really good sidekick. And also, like, one thing that I did like about the writing though is that they just didn't throw her to the side. Like, they hinted that, oh, well, you're not going to do anything, and then she has like her own hero moments too, which I enjoyed as like, you know, because they could have thrown her like, no, you go wait over here, and she's just like, oh no.
I have a nitpick here.
Go ahead.
All right.
I enjoyed the character. I'm not an Awkwafina hater. After I saw The Farewell, I had no hate for that woman in my heart because that movie is amazing. So I thought she was fine. Wasn't what brought me here, but she was the first person cast for this movie. So obviously she was always going to be a part of this film because they knew that she would do a good job in her role, and she did a great job. So we're having her deliver the final kill shot on a literal dragon after not having ever shot an arrow before, which I'm fine with, but why not have that be like a joke? Like, make it in a funny way. Like, she shoots at something and she misses horribly, but then like it bounces off something and like it hits the dragon or something. Like, having her be LeBron James in Game 7 in the finals after having never played basketball 3 days ago was a tough sell for me. How is she going to hit that shot at that time? Like, nobody could do that. You've only had 3 days of experience doing this. How could you hit that shot?
They kind of use like a dark joke there, because they're the guy that's like, you're not ready, and then all of a sudden it's like, yeah, you're ready. Like, come on. They kill him in front of her.
Next man,
literally in front of him. Next man up. This is just like when what's his face got hurt and Tom Brady took over and led the team to the Super Bowl.
Bledsoe got hurt. So yeah.
They said, "Oh shit, this backup guy's pretty good." Awkwafina's like fucking Tom Brady, man. She's like, obviously she was always meant to be a champion and nobody knew it. They got her for a 7th round draft pick. It's crazy.
Yeah, I did think it was kind of weird how she like just picked up a bow and arrow for the first time the other day, and now is like launching them miles into the sky and the fucking dragon on target.
How would you even know where to shoot a dragon? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, so I thought that was a bit tough.
Yeah, how did they know that would work?
Or let Morris be the one that shoots the dragon or something. Like, I don't think that we had to have Aqua. She had to do something. I'm fine with her shooting arrows, and maybe she could have killed a couple of the small soul suckers. But her hitting the game winner is just crazy. Like, why is she in the game at that time? Steve Kerr would have definitely subbed her out. Like, she wouldn't have been in the game. So I don't understand how she hits the final shot to win.
Yeah, you got to take Zaza Pachulia like out of the game. You know what I mean?
So that's like, you've never seen Zaza Pachulia hit Game 7 of the finals, hit the last shot. You would never see that.
Zadrunas Ilgauskas got to come out.
But I said this in the group chat. There's a moment when like they're like getting ready to go to the war or whatever, and Awkwafina picks up the bow and arrows, and the old lady who like put her on, it's like, nah, it's too dangerous. Fam, do you not see the fucking soul monsters outside?
How is it dangerous for me to be out here? They're sucking people's souls. How can I do more harm that's already happened?
It literally cannot get worse. It cannot get worse.
It cannot get worse. They're coming for all of our souls, fam.
What am I gonna do? Poke someone in the eye? Like, I think it'll be fine. Like, put me in the gauge, coach.
It's a war going on outside. No man is safe from. Like, let me get out here.
There are no bench players at this time. Everybody's got to go on the floor, fam. Like,
everybody's going on the floor.
Everybody has to go on the
floor. Literal
A&M
12th man. We're pulling you out of the stands. Like, come on.
Like, am I just gonna just freak out and turn sideways?
I'm just gonna
like,
sit here, like, and watch the soul suckers eat y'all? I literally can't just sit here.
Yeah, they're coming for our souls. Let me shoot them. What are you talking about? We're literally just sitting here on a knee and just shooting off into the distance. How could I mess that up?
A nitpick of mine was that we should join sides, and he's like, no. Okay, like I didn't like that much, to be honest. Like I'm okay with the team up, but I'm also just kind of like, because you got to give like the sister power towards the end of the movie. But I was just kind of that was a little clunky there.
I laughed.
Okay.
I laughed. I was fun with it.
Yeah, I'm the big dumb idiot who was just like, that's funny.
Yeah, another nitpick that I had is like him learning like the airbending way to beat his dad in like 2.5 days. The same as her learning how to shoot a bow and arrow.
It was born within him. He is half his mom, half his dad. It was always in there.
Yeah,
he just had to
unlock
it.
The goat.
Yes, exactly.
When your aunt is Michelle Yeoh, oh my god, dude!
Michelle Yeoh is just amazing. She's incredible in this. We have to see more of her in the MCU. She is great. Give me another Shang-Chi movie, because she is great, and we need to give her more money and more looks and put her on more American stuff, because she
is just now in every single major Asian American, like she's there, which she should be.
She's everywhere.
She was one of the first ever crossover stars, because she was like a Bond girl. She was in, of course, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon was like the international hit. But yeah, she was like a Bond girl. Like she made it, man. One of the first ever crossover stars. She deserves her flowers, like Jackie Chan and in any other of those major Asian actors. But it just, yeah, she's great. And I'm not gonna like bonk me if you want. Still looks incredible. She's 60 years old.
Amazing.
Incredible.
Still looks great. Still looks
incredible. But yeah, I'm interested to see where they go with this. Obviously, I think they need to make a sequel. I'll see where they go with that. I'm more interested in seeing him fighting solo than what I am interested in is like when they do an eventual another team up of Avengers stuff, he's going to be using the rings more and the powers with those than he is with like the hand-to-hand combat. And that's disappointing, because that's what was my favorite part of this movie, though.
I think they got to find ways of having him having these big team ups. He can have, he can run the first scene that's maybe a more grounded scene. But obviously, once you get to the big scene at the end, then he'll be doing more of the ring stuff. But I think you still have to at least find ways to incorporate some martial arts because that stuff is just dope. And every MCU movie is a little bit more interesting if somebody just fucking starts doing karate. It's just a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I think one thing they might do is like you said, he's like half his dad, half his mom, or whatever. So they might do something where like the rings are corrupting him in some way and like making him evil. So he has to take them off, and
they'll find ways to get him out of them.
Yeah. They should definitely find ways to get him out of it, or maybe it starts to fatigue him wearing them all the time. So sometimes they catch him without the rings on, or he only got like like 4 rings on. So he, what I'm saying, like he's not as strong as he used to be. I think I definitely want them to maintain bits of that, and whatever the big team up is when we see all the gang back together again. I definitely want him to get some ground level stuff off because he's dope, and I want to see that.
But what I was thinking about when I was thinking about the team ups and stuff is like, so Captain America, like he's the captain, he's supposed to be out here leading the team. He ain't got no powers no more. So how?
That's facts. He's not a super soldier.
How's this gonna work now? Like, how is the leader of the team gonna be out here?
He ain't the leader.
Getting the beats all the time.
He is not the leader, bro.
Wait, Captain America's dead.
Chill out.
Chill out.
Oh, no. Oh, sorry.
You can't do that.
Don't disrespect.
Only we can disrespect the Black Captain America, not you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I totally forgot about.
Only we can disrespect the Black Captain America.
Do not disrespect the Black.
You have to recognize him as Cap. We don't.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I forgot about. That's how forgettable that series actually ended up being. Was Captain America and the Winter Soldier. I forgot about it.
That's how we're referring to him now. He's Captain America. Captain America is not the leader of the squad. No disrespect. Anthony Mackie cannot lead the squad, but we still have Thor. We still have Doctor Strange. One of those dudes will become the new Tony Stark, and one of them will become the new Cap. Because we're definitely not being led by Anthony Mackie. That's not happening.
Yeah, we're not being led by just some guy.
We're not being led by Anthony Mackie. Sorry.
As Mr. Blabo would say, why we listen to you? You got bills.
Man don't you get alone in his own city?
Don't you have bad credit? Why would we listen to you?
Bro, you are Captain America, or at least Captain America's friend that everybody should know, and you help save the world, and you can't get a bank loan? That's tough, bro. That's extremely tough. That would never happen to Tony Stark ever in a million years.
Yeah, we're gonna
fucking some NIL deals or something going. Like, come on.
We're gonna fit
money, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna follow the guy with literal god powers from the Eternals, and we'll be fine. Thanks. One scene that I mentioned that we didn't mention that I did like is when he goes to get his revenge after his wife is killed, and he just murders those henchmen in cold blood.
Man, that was dope as hell.
Incredible.
Yeah, that was dope as hell.
And you see it kind of through the eyes of a young Shang Chi. That was really cool. The last thing that we got to mention, spoiler alert, of course, Captain Marvel. It was a Dustin Daniel Creighton film. She's been in all of his films, so she had to be in this at the very end. But also Hulk was there, but Bruce Banner Hulk. He's not Professor Hulk.
Yeah,
weird, right?
Professor Hulk.
I gotta be honest, fam. I don't care.
I don't care either.
It doesn't matter.
I only noticed until after the fact. I was like, wait, why does he have a sling? Wait. Yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where it's like
it's weird. Like, we can speculate all we want to, but like, do we really care about the Hulk at this point? Doesn't matter. I don't feel like it matters.
Well, we're gonna talk about this obviously in our rankings for the movies, but I think I feel the same way about the Hulk. He's cool. I'm not really here for the Hulk. No offense. Anybody.
All right. Anything else we have to say about Shang-Chi?
Go see it. It's fucking bonkers.
I would recommend, like, if you feel safe, you feel comfortable, I would recommend, if you're feeling vaccinated, go get the vaccine. That's all I got to say. But if you're feeling vaccinated, go outside, go see this movie in the theater, biggest screen you can watch it in, because it is definitely worth it. Definitely worth going back to the movies. If you were picking and choosing when you're going to go back to the movies, this is the one.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right,
martial arts is fucking awesome. The martial arts is amazing. Go see this shit. I want more martial arts in the MCU. Bring all my favorite shit into the MCU. Fuck it, let's go.
All right. We will get to our Marvel tier list right after this ad break from Apollo Houston. And I'm going to go get an adult beverage because it's my Friday.
Nice.
Here's the Friday.
Is anybody watching us right now? Do we have to entertain?
Do we have to entertain? I guess we should just assume that we're entertaining.
So, how about them Longhorns?
Yes, bro, we back. We back. Resurrect Texas football. Hashtag resurrect Texas football. Please. I'm
not gonna lie to you, bro. Like, I think Sark might be a problem. Like, not this year, but eventually. I think Sark might be a problem.
He just got to show me that our future is bright this year. He don't got to win nothing crazy. He just got to show me that our future is bright, and I will.
His wife was out there getting fits off and stuff.
Yes, she stole the show.
I feel like I'm gonna be grateful that y'all are leaving. Like by the time that y'all leave,
you got to go deal with Alabama and shit like that.
Yeah, it's like we can just like beat the shit out of UCF and Houston for a couple of years until they like get their thing going.
Y'all better not let UCF and Houston come in and bully y'all, bro. That better not happen.
Yeah, the Fiesta Bowl never happened.
I was on a plane when it happened and never saw it, so it didn't happen.
Yeah, it just doesn't exist. All right, share screen. We are going to do our Marvel tier list. All right. Let's look here. That's not what I want. All right. So, Marvel tier list. This is going to take a while, so strap in. People have been asking us, how would you rank this? Like, how would you score this as compared to other Marvel movies? And Dex had a good point. There's tiers now. It's not really like, because there's B's and B minuses all throughout this, but they don't exist on the same plane.
Yeah, because like your team ups are different from your solos, and your sequel solos are different from your origins. It's a different scale. You got to tier it up.
All right. So we are on tiermaker.com, sponsor the pod. We have the S tier, A tier, B tier, C tier, D tier, E tier, F tier. Kind of how we would rank these movies, actually, but there is an S tier. So let's go ahead.
Quick, by the way, I tweeted like after I walked out of this movie opening night, Thursday, it's like maybe 11 o'clock local time. Somebody was like, how does this rank compared to the other MCU movies? Fam, I don't know. The shit just came out today. Like, can we relax? Can we chill?
I don't know when. It'll probably be when we're dead, but like, I don't know when they'll stop making these movies, because everybody thought like Star Wars was eventually going to be done. You know, like they're going to take a break eventually. Like Kevin Feige will retire or some, you know, like it'll just be something. There will be an end to this eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
But that's when you can have the retrospective and you can have the 80 film box set. But like, right now it's hard to do, but we're going to try our damnedest. All right. So obviously we got to put Avengers, Infinity War, and Endgame are S tier, correct?
Facts. Yes.
All right.
Wait, sorry. Run those back.
Endgame and Infinity War are S tier, right?
Okay, I'll give you the S tier.
I would put, well, let's see if we can't go down the line here and get these in order. Let's see, okay, let's start with Iron Man. How would you rank Iron Man? I was saying it's one of the best superhero origin stories out there. I love it. Because it was unlike any other, it's different from superhero movies. I would rank it A tier, but then we're going to have a lot of movies in the A tier if that's the case, but I will go A tier.
I think I lean B on this one, just because like I love it because it was first, and you know, it's an origin story and that's great, and it's what started it all. But I think there's like so many movies that are better than Iron Man at this point that I want to put it in A tier.
I'm with Dex.
We reserve the right. We reserve the right to change these as we go, by the way.
I hate the final fight scene in Iron Man with a burning passion in my soul. I hate it so much.
Evil robot
during
Jeff
the fight
Bridges.
scene, I hate it.
Robot Jeff Bridges.
And
Yeah.
I love Jeff Bridges. I love Jeff Bridges, but that shit did not bang. I hated that. I would say it's in the B tier. A lot to enjoy about that movie.
Tony Stark built this in a cave. All right. So the next one I think is Iron Man 2, but we're gonna go with the original Captain America. I reserve this for C tier, if not D tier. This movie stinks.
It doesn't stink. This movie is actually really good. I would still say C tier. I think it's not quite as good as Iron Man.
I'm fine putting it in the C tier. I have my issues with the film, but it's okay. It's fine.
All right. C tier. All right, let's take a look here. We're looking at, I think the Hulk actually came next.
F tier. Fuck
That's F tier.
F tier.
We will not speak anymore about this film.
I don't hate that movie as much as y'all,
yes,
but
you
okay.
do. Yes, you do.
Okay. Let's see here. Iron Man.
It doesn't even matter. Like, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the MCU.
Right. Yeah, I guess if it doesn't matter, like we never reference it.
It
Like
quite literally doesn't matter. Although we did just see the Abomination, we haven't seen him since we saw him in the Hulk. So I guess it does matter, but really it doesn't matter at all.
All right. So Thor, the original Thor. I would put the C tier.
No, I'm about to use one of my overrides. That is an F tier film.
No.
Film.
No.
This isn't that. That is
you're gonna use
on the barrel MCU.
You realize Thor Dark World. You realize Thor Dark World's also.
I hate them both equally. I feel like they are both equally as bad. I hate those films.
I will over. I'm not going to use the override here, but you want to use your override on Thor to make it an F.
Yes, F tier film.
Hey, I don't care enough to argue about that movie. So hey, override is override.
All right, that is your override. That's your one. I think you wasted
about that decision.
I think you wasted it.
About that decision.
I think you wasted it. All right, Iron Man 2. I would give this a D.
I would give that a
C, maybe D.
Wait, where do we put the first Iron Man? Was it C?
B.
We'll put it in B.
Okay, I'm fine putting this in C.
C.
Yeah. Okay. But it feels so disrespectful to say that movie is equal to
Captain America. I feel like those are on the same level. I feel like those are on the same level.
Killing it. I'm one of the few people who was like, I actually enjoyed Iron Man 2. You know, what's his name? Like just whipping people with electric whips. It's nice.
I don't hate it as much as everybody else hated it, but I think it's about where it just belongs.
Fine. It did introduce Don Cheadle as War Machine. We'll say that.
R.I.P. to Terrence Howard. R.I.P.
Main.
Iron Man.
And I want to go back to the Iron Man original decision. There's only so high you can put a movie that has Terrence Howard in it. So no shade, but I think it's about where it's supposed to be.
Oh man. Thor the Dark World. That is F tier. F tier movie.
That is absolute F tier garbage.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any more that's going to go on the F tier, guys.
See, but I think Thor is better. But you use your override. Thor is better than the second one.
It is better, but like by how much?
I don't think it's
a significant amount.
Both equally.
A significant amount.
Keep the difference between the two films apart because I hate them both so equally. I can't even keep them apart and what happened in each one.
All right, Iron Man 3, D.
That's D tier. There's some good stuff. No, wait. Maybe I want to say E tier for Iron Man 3.
I gotta be honest, I don't even remember what happened in Iron Man 3 at this point.
The action is good, but the Trevor storyline, which they retconned in this movie, is so bad.
It's incredibly bad.
All right. So I would put that D tier. Do you have any objections?
Where would you put it, Dex? I would have it E, but I don't care enough to fight.
I'm gonna lean D on this one.
Okay.
The original Avengers, I would go B. No, well, I'd actually go A.
Dex?
I would go B on that one.
I would go B as well.
Okay, you outweigh me. Avengers original B. All right. Let's take a look here. I'm going out of order here. Sue me, sorry. Captain America, The Winter Soldier is an S tier movie for me. S
tier. That shit is goated. I love that movie.
Tej?
I would go A, but I don't care enough to fight it. It's great. I'll give it where y'all outvote me anyway.
S tier movie for me. Let's see here. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1.
A tier.
S tier.
A tier.
I fucking love that film. All right, y'all can put it A, but that shit fucking bangs. That should be an S tier film.
A tier. Age of Ultron.
Y'all not gonna like my answer here.
This might have to be my override, bro.
Yes, thank you, Dex. Put that shit in the fucking dirt, bro. Put that shit in the dirt.
No, wait.
No, he likes it.
I love this movie.
Oh,
It's an E. This movie stinks. This movie stinks. This movie's ass.
What are you about to do? If our list has it in the B tier, we're about to get flamed online, bro.
I got it. C tier. I gotta override it up to the C tier.
Oh, let him use his override because I was gonna put it way lower than that, so he can use his override.
The C tier. The C tier's fine.
That's disrespectful. That's disrespectful. What else is in there? Iron Man 2 and what else?
Captain America.
First Avenger.
I can't know how to make my screen big, so I can't see the little tiles. Okay.
I can barely see them, to be honest.
That's disrespectful to those films to have sit next to that garbage teammate that we just put in there. But that's
come on.
I fucking hate Ultron. Oh.
It's good. It set up the next phase of the MCU perfectly.
I hate it.
I would actually have it higher than that, but I can't justify an override higher than this.
Thank God.
So it's got to be C tier. That's my override. Roy's got the only override left.
Doctor Strange, I would go B.
D.
What else is in B?
Iron Man and the Avengers.
Oh, I'm stuck between B and C. Dex said D, and you said B, Royden?
Yeah.
Oh, fuck.
So this is a C, right?
I mean, I would give it a C, and y'all's average is a C. I think we have to give it a C.
All right. We'll go C. Doctor Strange gets a C. It is baffling that they hadn't made another movie up until like this year. That movie came out years ago now.
It's not baffling because it's not that good.
Come on.
I'd like Doctor Strange for all this subsequent stuff way more than I like Doctor Strange for anything that he did.
They had to put him in like 4 other movies and then do a whole like Disney series to make another character stronger so they could then give Doctor Strange a sequel.
Yeah,
I didn't care about
no
the movie.
I didn't care about no Dormammu.
Doesn't mean the movie isn't good. Doesn't mean the movie isn't good. Anyway, Ant-Man, D.
Yeah, that feels about right. What else is in D?
Iron Man 3.
Yeah, that feels about right. Oh, wait. Oh, I hate Iron Man 3. Okay, that's fine. But yeah, I think we're not using our E tier.
Wait, we have the right to move these.
Yeah, Iron Man 3 might be easier.
Iron Man 3 is
Iron Man 3 to be E tier. Thank you.
Iron Man 3 is E tier.
That's justice.
All right. Black Panther. I reserve the right not to vote.
I want to say S tier out of respect.
No,
but I gotta say A tier out of my heart. Like
that shit's going to the S tier. I don't care. No further comment.
I will say A tier.
All right, we can put it in the A tier. Let the record show that I fulfilled my black duties. I put it in the S tier. Thank you.
Oh man, now I'm the racist. Okay, great. Let's see here. So we got some of the newer movies here coming up. I think I can't remember which one came out, but it doesn't really matter. Guardians of the Galaxy 2, I think is it probably belongs in the C tier. It's still a good movie. I don't know. What do y'all think?
I would say probably B tier.
B tier, really?
I would say I'm stuck.
Man. I think I'm higher on Guardians 2 than the average.
Roy, you're gonna have to break the time. Wait, what did you say, Roy?
I was gonna say C, but Dex was like B or A, right?
Nah, just B, not A.
B? Okay.
I think I would.
Movie's all over the place for me.
I guess I would go C. I would go B. It's really close for
me.
B
tier? Okay, let's go B.
That's close for me. I reserve the right to switch that vote to a C later, but let's keep going.
I will say all these posters really kind of look the same after a while. Ant-Man and the Wasp. E for me.
I thought it was better than the first one actually, so I would put it in the D tier.
I would put it in the E tier. I thought it was worse than the first one, but I still liked it. That's crazy that in the E tier. Well, wait. Yeah, I think I like. No, I'm gonna put it in the D tier with Dex. I agree.
Okay, so both Ant-Man in the D tier.
Yeah.
Here's the one that is controversial, folks. Captain Marvel. Where are we going?
It's firmly in the B tier for me.
Dex doesn't like this movie.
It's not that I don't like it. I just don't like it.
So Roy is a racist,
much.
and Dex hates women. I understand this. I get it. I totally get it.
I mean, I gotta be honest with myself. I saw it twice when it came out because I see every MCU movie twice when they come out, and I have not been tempted whatsoever to watch it again since.
I will firmly place this in the C tier.
Yeah, C is fine. I might have gone D.
I'm fine with that.
C is fine.
I'm fine with C.
All right. Now comes down to the meat. We already put Avengers Endgame and Infinity War in the S tier. So we got those out. We knocked those out early. Civil War. I'm not as high on this movie as people are, but I'm willing.
A tier.
I'm willing to give Civil War an A. Going back and looking at it.
A fucking tier.
I got to rewatch that movie mostly because it's fun as shit. It's so fun.
They introduced my Spider-Man in that movie. Y'all lucky I didn't put it in the S tier for that
long.
My fucking Spider-Man was introduced in this film. Oh my god, what a moment!
Tom Holland is the GOAT. I don't give a fuck about Tobey Maguire or Andrew Garfield or Kristen Dunst or Emma Stone, any of these people. Tom Holland, Zendaya, the GOATs. Like, end of discussion. Y'all see it.
Facts.
You ain't got to lie to me.
Facts.
And nobody's ever been more in a movie than Andrew Garfield is in this next movie. He's just like lying to Variety, like a known reputable magazine. He's just like,
he's literally not even trying to hide the fact that he's obviously in this film. Like, he's doing a completely shit job of this. Just stop giving answers to this. Yeah, Andrew, shut up about it. Just shut up about it.
And it doesn't even matter at this point, fam. We all
know. We don't care. We're ready, bro.
We have seen pictures of you on set.
We're all excited anyway. Like, we all.
Yes, we've known this for months. It's still gonna bang when it happens. I'm still gonna be, oh my god, I can't believe it. Like, I'm still ready, bro. Like,
yeah, because like we all knew ahead of time that they were bringing in all the old characters from the old Spider-Man movies. And this trailer still broke fucking records worldwide because we're that fucking excited. Just lean into it.
We love Spider-Man. Like, I don't give a damn about an NDA. He should have been, I'm in that movie like for like all of it. Like, just give us all the secrets. Who gives a shit?
This shit is 4 hours long and I'm in like, 2 of them.
Andrew, they ain't bringing you back, man. Just like, like,
go out with a bang, bro. Go out with a bang. Let's have fun.
All right.
Being an asshole.
But speaking of the GOAT Spider-Man.
The Spider-Man Far From Home. I would say Far From Home is B and No Way Home. Or no, not No Way Home. Sorry, Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah, Spider-Man Homecoming is B. Spider-Man Far From Home is an A tier movie.
Most Spider-Mans are in the S tier for Spider because Spidey is the GOAT.
I was going to say, I got Far From Home. I got Far From Home S tier. And Homecoming A tier.
Okay. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'll do Far From. I'm not far off, but like, yeah,
Yes, this feels right. This feels right. I don't know if I have ever interrogated which Spider-Man movie I like more, so maybe that means I have them both in the same tier, but I don't care enough to change it. Having Gyllenhaal in the second one. Man,
I guess Michael Keaton, the GOAT, is
Michael
also
Keaton
in.
Was also fucking dope.
Yeah. I just like what they did.
You got them flipped on the tier chart.
Do I?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. Yeah, I do. I guess I just liked what they did with Mysterio. Like, they made it like an actual thing. I don't know. I just thought that could have been terrible and it was great.
I saw somebody yesterday tweet out that like the I don't remember what we're calling it, but like that scene where Mysterio just has like Tom Holland in the fucking blender and like it's just throwing fucking just mirages and shit at him all day. Somebody was like, "This isn't that good. It's not that interesting. I don't like it that much. They didn't do that much with the camera. It's boring." Blocked them immediately. Fuck you. This shit is incredible. I've never seen this Twitter account in my life. I saw that tweet and I was like, blocked. You're blocked.
I never need to see you. I never need to see your opinions or see your face ever again.
You did the right thing.
You disgust me.
Have some fucking fun sometimes, bro.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here.
I did watch.
God.
Oh, disgusting. I did watch when he figures out like his spidey sense in the bridge or whatever, and he goes and like beats all the drones when he does another hologram or whatever.
Yep.
It is because there's no music or anything. It's just all natural sound and like him breaking all this. It is incredible. I'm psyched for the next movie. All right. I don't want to use my override on this, and I think y'all all will agree. Thor Ragnarok is an S tier movie.
That's S tier. That's an easy decision.
Okay, good. Okay, good.
Easy decision.
All right. Newest to Thor Ragnarok. We've talked about it incessantly on this podcast. They just made a good Thor movie. We have 2 Thor movies in the F tier, and then one is one of the best MCU movies ever.
They literally just changed Thor. They were just like, oh, by the way, Thor is fucking hilarious, and everybody interacts with it. It's funny. I love that. That sounds amazing. Like, they just literally changed the whole profile, and it fucking banged, and I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, they're like, forget everything you knew about the character other than, he has a hammer and shit, and that's all you need to know. Now he's funny, and now Tessa Thompson is here, and everything is great.
Oh my god, your hammer pulled you off. All right,
and then later they were like, okay, we can bring back some of the stuff from the other 2 Thor movies now that everybody likes Thor again.
Exactly, now we can bring back some of the other shit from the movies that y'all didn't really care about, but now we can just bring some of that shit back.
Yeah, now we can sneak Natalie Portman back in here. We can get Kat Dennings back in here.
As long as Taika's involved, like we don't give a shit now. Like we were saying, they don't care about retconning their mistakes. All right.
I think it's gonna be really fun to see those old characters from those movies into this, like them coming back into the film makes me want to go rewatch the first 2 Thor movies, which y'all know that I hate. That's how cool the MCU is. Like, okay, I'm back in. Like, I'll watch these 2 shitty movies so that I can understand all the jokes when the new people or the old people come back into the new movie, because that's just gonna bang and that's gonna be funny. I'm in.
What I will say about the original Thor movies that is incredible is look at Chris Hemsworth before he got that role and Chris Hemsworth in the movie. I
had no idea who Chris Hemsworth was.
I'm not a simp, but like, holy shit.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit. Like, it is the craziest body transformation that I think I've ever seen. All right. Just came out, Black Widow. Going back on this movie, it's not as good as I remember it, but I will give it points for our queen. Black Widow's a D tier movie.
Whoa.
What?
No,
it's B tier, bro. What are you doing?
B tier. It's firmly in the B tier.
I don't think so.
Oh my god. You're gonna get us canceled online. Oh god damn it.
I'm not gonna use my override. I will not use it.
I was gonna say, like, if this is your override.
I abstain from my override. If y'all want to put it in the B tier, we will put it in the B tier. I gotta go back and watch it. I just don't think it's as good as I remember it being. Florence Pugh is my queen, but I just don't think it's as good as it. I
cannot believe you would disrespect Florence Pugh on this podcast. I can't believe you do that.
Have you seen it once or have you seen it twice?
Once.
I've seen it twice. That shit's great.
Yeah, same. I saw it twice and I loved that shit.
Yeah, I got to go back and watch it, but I just did not. Going back and remembering what I remember from it, I just.
Florence Pugh is an absolute queen. The MCU is happy to have her. Absolute queen.
Once you get over the whole, they should have made this movie earlier thing, it becomes so much better. Once you're just like, fuck that, I don't care anymore. It's out now.
Yes.
And after we just got done waxing poetic, Shang Chi is an A tier movie.
Yes, I agree with that.
Yeah. All right. So here's our definitive. We will tweet this from the One Take Pod account. Our definitive
symmetry. No category has more than 5 movies. I like it.
Our definitive tier ranking for Marvel films: Avengers Infinity War, Endgame, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Far From Home, Thor Ragnarok in the S tier. A tier, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1, Black Panther, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man, Homecoming, and Shang Chi. B tier, Iron Man, the original Avengers, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Black Widow. C tier, Captain America the First Avenger, Iron Man 2, Avengers, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel. I am moving Iron Man 2 down to D tier. That is my override.
What'd you move down?
Captain America or Iron Man 2 is going down to D tier.
Yeah,
Got it.
that feels fine.
So D tier actually will be Ant-Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Iron Man 2. E tier, Iron Man 3, and F tier, Hulk, Thor, and Thor Dark World. Because
thank you, Jesus, that justice was served in the fucking F tier.
All right. So you can find these all at One Take Pod on Twitter, the number One Take Pod on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram, TikTok, and the like at One Take Pod. You can find us on Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and wherever you get your podcasts at ONE Take Pod. Go rate us 5 stars on Apple. I know you all have iPhones, even though you listen to us on Spotify. Please go rate us. We really appreciate it. Download and subscribe. Dex, where can they find the Dopest Houston merch?
ApolloHOU.store. We're official media now. We're like in media passes at Astros game and shit. We're out here. The brand is strong.
Turn up.
Buy our shirts. Buy them. There's a One Take Podcast shirt on there.
Yeah.
Buy that shit. I know y'all listen to our podcast. Wear the shirt.
That shirt bangs. That shirt absolutely bangs.
Wear the shirt, goddammit. It's so comfortable.
It feels great.
Shit feels fantastic. And if it's too expensive, you can use promo code One Take Pod. ONETAKEPOD. I forgot to spell One Take Pod.
Yeah.
But it gets you 10% off. And you can get a fucking fantastic shirt. Just do it.
Where'd you get that cologne? You smell great. Smell wonderful. All right. So all that to say, who are we supporting? Speaking of Black Widow,
the Queen. #support Florence Pugh. She's coming. I don't remember what's coming next, but things are coming. She's working.
Don't worry, darling.
Don't worry, darling's coming. She's starring in some like weird like Swedish farm shit that's happening. She's gonna make it great.
Midsommar 2? Don't tell me that there's a Midsommar 2 and I don't know about that because I need to be. That's how I feel about that film.
I forgot like what exactly she's working on, but she just started filming something in like some like green farm mountain.
Midsommar 2, The Streets.
Yeah.
Turn that shit up.
Anyway, but Florence Pugh doesn't miss. She's never missed. She's incapable of missing. It is what it is.
All right. You can find us at all those places. Support Florence Pugh. We're out.